graders! I've got my twin here. Can I say hi, George?
Hi.
Hi! It's Tuesday. I hope everyone's day is off to a great start. A few announcements before we get into our work today. I sent you all an invite for a Google Hangout today. Oh, hi, Gal.
Hi.
And it's totally optional, but I hope you can join us so that we can all be together and spend some time as a group having a little meeting. So that's today at 10. Hold on a second, baby. And then I've had lots of great questions, so I just wanted to go over a few things. So right now, and keep in mind everything's changing, but right now, as of Tuesday, very cool, George. As of Tuesday, we are not doing exit tickets on GoFormative. We are using GoFormative in a different way, as you well know. We're using GoFormative for independent work, and I think it's working out really, really well. I'd love to see what you all are doing on GoFormative. We might come back to exit tickets. I don't know. This week, no exit tickets. You'll notice in a moment when I take you through our tour that we do have a change on Thursday. I'm learning a ton, you're learning a ton. So now that we're in this distance learning in April, I made a little goof, and I did not know that we only have 2 to 3 lessons a week. I did not know that. I thought we were doing our normal amount of lessons. Thank you, George. So you'll see an adjustment for Thursday. Thursday we're going to be... Thank you. Practicing with our protractors. And when I say 2 to 3 lessons a week, that's for us. We are in a compacted program. So one of our lessons, like Monday, like yesterday, sometimes do I have something on me? That's fun. Wonder what that is. Who knows? Okay. Sometimes AT lessons are actually 4 lessons. So we are sticking to 2 to 3 lessons a week. I'm going to do 3 lessons just so we can get in as much as we can. But just know that sometimes, as you all well know, an AT lesson sometimes is multiple lessons, like on a standard standard plan. So we'll be doing 2 to 3 AT lessons per week.
Mama,
moving forward. And so we're going to see some multitasking here. We, yesterday I mentioned on Monday that I'm going to be adding to the main stack. And, okay, George, don't be too late. That's not going to work because I need you all to submit your daily assignments. So you will see that I'm making a new stack, a new Google Slide assignment for each day. I was hoping to have just one continuous stack of slides throughout the week, but that's not going to work, so things are changing. I will update you as well as I can as things change. And then I just want to talk to you about the quote-unquote grading. A lot of you see grades, and well, hopefully all of you see grades in Google Classroom. Keep in mind, we are still in elementary school, and we are still standards-based. No one is getting actual grades that are, 100% or 75% or whatever. I'm just putting in those percentages so that you know, and that I know that the assignment is finished, either 100% finished, 50% finished, 75% finished. Oh no, Georgia's cat boy. This thing has had a lot of wear and tear. So please don't get confused about the grades. They're not actual grades. It's just a way that we are keeping communication as far as whether or not your assignments are finished. And thank you for being kind and patient with me. I know there was a snafu this morning with the stack. I really appreciate you giving me grace when I make mistakes, and I really appreciate you all letting me know when there's an issue. So we're all in this together. We're all learning together. Can't wait for us to be together today. And I'll take you through some learn. I don't know what order I'll do. We're going to do a little bit of learning here on our video, and then I'll take you through a quick tour of what today looks like and move through what your distance learning slide stack looks like for today. So here's just our weekly schedule. We're working on angle measurement today, and we have our Google Meet. Thursday, like I mentioned, is when we're going to work on some online practice with measuring angles. And today we're covering lessons 5 and 8. This is just all the announcements that I covered in the intro. I wanted you to have those in writing in case you needed to refer back to them. That will be there. We have your I can statements. Please, 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 please make sure that you read the blue slides. This is the new content. Please make sure you read these slides before you begin your independent practice. This has a lot of really, really important information. Today we're working with a protractor. Once you read through your new information or your new learning, you can go ahead and get started. You can go ahead, you can go ahead and get started with your practice for today. That will show up on the first pink slide. And today you're going to be, just like yesterday, going to be doing a combination of some work and go formative for the items that you need to be drawing. And then some you will be answering just here in Google Slides. And I think it's going to be, well, I know it's going to be a great day. Enjoy it. Now I'm going to take you through a few problems. Really going to enjoy our work today because we are going to be using some new tools. We're going to be learning about some new tools. So this is a protractor. You probably have heard of this tool before. And notice that it's a circle. And notice that we start at 0. And notice that there are 360 degrees in this circle. Notice how here 0 and 360 have two numbers. That means that if we started here and we walked all the way around the circle, we would be covering 360 degrees. Also notice that the protractor is divided into, try to draw straight lines here, 4 quadrants. And notice that we have, in turn, 4 right angles. And so if you notice, if we travel from 0 to 90, oh, there we go, right angle. And then if we travel from 90 to 180, there's another right angle. We travel from 180 to 270, there's another right angle. And then we travel from 270 to 360. Wow, we've made a total circle. Also just notice that an angle that is half of 90 degrees is a 45 degree angle. That would be an acute angle. Let me get all these marks off here. I also want you to notice that if we had a straight line, it's technically an angle of 180 degrees because we would travel from here at 0 to here. This is the arc of a 100 degree angle, otherwise known as a straight line. What if we traveled from 0 to 270? What sort of angle would that be? If we traveled from 0, that's the line right here, to 270, bloop, 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 bloop. Notice that this angle is larger than 90 degrees. That's an obtuse angle, and that would be an angle at 270 degrees. So you're going to have an activity and you're going to be looking at different arcs within this protractor, and you're going to be identifying what are the measurements of some angles. I'll show you a for instance. So we might look at something, an angle like this. So this angle lines up right here with 130 degrees. So this angle, larger than 90 degrees, would be 130 degrees. When you're measuring angles, you're going to look at where does the line or line segment match up along the numbers that run along the outside of the protractor. So we're going to... Oh dear. Okay, hold on one second, Cal. We're going to take a look at a couple more here, friends. This one's super fun because it stars our friends. Okay, so Holden, Ivy, and Brooklyn stood in the middle of the yard and faced the house. You can see the picture here. Holden turned 90 degrees to the right. Ivy turned 180 degrees to the right. And Brooklyn turned 270 to the right. Name the object that each friend is now facing. So this is what I want you to think about. Let's count by 90s here. And let's think about how many 90s, this refers back to the protractor we were just looking at. One 90-degree angle is a right angle. Two 90-degree angles, two 90s, is actually a straight line. Three 90-degree angles, that's going to be kind of hard for me to draw right here, but that's going to be approximately, it's going to be from here, so that would be 90, 180 to 70. So that's going to be an obtuse angle. And then a 360-degree angle is going to be four 90-degree angles. So we would start here and we would go all the way around, and that would be a 360-degree angle. So let's think about each of our friends here. So Holden, so everyone is facing the house. Okay, so here's our friend Holden. He's facing the house, and he turned 90 degrees to the right. So he's facing the house, and he's going to go bloop. And now he will be facing the fence. So Holden's now looking at a fence. I'm sure it's a very interesting fence, Holden. Ivy is looking at the house, and she turned 180 degrees to the right. So that means that she's going to take two 90-degree angles. She's going to cross one 90-degree angle. You can see that 90-degree angle right here. And then she's going to turn another 90 degrees. 90 plus 90 is 180. And then our friend Ivy is going to be looking at a tree. Now Brooklyn is standing here, and she's going to turn 270 degrees to the right. So she's going to be turning 1, 2, 3 90-degree chunks. So she's here, and then so she turns one 90-degree chunk, another 90-degree chunk, and another. So Brooklyn's looking at 1, 2, 3 90-degree angles, and our friend Brooklyn is going to end up looking at the barn. Pretty fun. Definitely chunk. You're going to work on these, a problem like this independently. Definitely chunk these into 90-degree angles, sets of 90-degree angles. But I think this is kind of cool, and it's in color. What a treat. Here at another piece for today. In this problem, we are being asked, how many quarter turns does this picture need to be rotated in order for it to be upright? A quarter turn. Let's think about what that means. Go back to the protractor. Again, the protractor is 360 degrees. We can divide the protractor into fourths, which would show us 4 right angles. Each right angle is 90 degrees. So a quarter turn refers to one rotation of 90 degrees. And so if we were going to be really efficient with this picture, do you see that we could turn this picture one time to the left, 90 degrees, and then that would essentially be that little doggy. It's kind of a complicated little doggy. But do you see if we, it's actually a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. If we just flipped this picture to the left 90 degrees, do you see how then that little doggy would be sitting upright? Cool. Something else you could do is you could rotate it. I'm sorry, I think I said to the right. This is clearly left. If we just rotate it 1/4 turn to the left, that doggy will be upright. You don't have to rotate it to the left, though. You can rotate it to the right. Think about what would happen with this picture if we rotated this doggy one rotation to the right, one 90-degree turn. So if we if we flipped this little doggy 90 degrees to the right, what's going to happen to that doggy? That doggy is going to be upside down, and I'm not sure if I've ever drawn an upside down doggy, but it's actually kind of, oh, that eye is not going to work. So here's that little doggy. Now he's upside down. That's what happens when you flip this image 90 degrees to the right. We want him to be right side up, so now we're going to have to flip him again 90 degrees to the right. And so if he's upside down and we flip him again, now he's going to be on his tummy. Can you kind of picture, boop, so we're going to flip him on his head, and then we're going to flip him again, and the doggy's going to be on his tummy. I don't feel like that visual is going to be very helpful. I'll just write tummy here. And then if we flip him one more time, we can flip him from his tummy to this noble pose. I feel like my first doggy was the best. Sorry, guys. So you can see rotating him to the left is much more efficient, or you can rotate him 3/4 to the right to get him in his noble doggy pose. So you all are going to take your independent practice. Let me know what questions you have. Have fun with it. I think today will be a cool exploration of some new fun concepts. And off you go.